Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we say RIP to SCU. It is Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. We are here on this glorious mid-May episode of Lost in the Midcard, a couple weeks out from Double or Nothing. We got an Impact Plus pay-per-view on the way Saturday with Under Siege. No word if Steven Seagal is going to show up. We'll probably have to wait till Saturday for that. At the end of the show, Matt and I will run down the card, give you our predictions. Of course, the big six-way dance to determine who faces Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship, the big one there. So we'll break down that card, go over some headlines, go over some TV, and much more. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way. Typically every Thursday like this one. It's been a while since we've been on a normal rotation, but we are back on our normal Thursday episode. And make sure you subscribe. That way you know anytime we change it up. Sometimes scheduling and whatnot gets in the way, so we come at you on a Friday, maybe on a Wednesday. You never know. So it's always good to subscribe. We're also on the YouTube. Please give us a subscribe there, man. Try to get to enough subscribers to have our own website link on YouTube. But for now, we'll have to tell you to go to facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard or the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Go to the pin post there to find our YouTube links for the video version of the podcast. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up, comment on the videos, help us out a little bit there, and give us a subscribe so we can get those numbers up for our own little website. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Happy Mirror Day.
Yeah.
It's Rusev Day.
Of course, he hasn't said Miro Day, so in the gimmicks. So we'll just have to go with Rusev Day there. New TNT champion, but geez, that wasn't a surprise, Matt, was it?
No, we've been kind of calling it for weeks, but like I also say all the time, predictability when it's done right isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, we'll get into the main event of Dynamite, but first, let's start off with the kickoff of Dynamite. Jon Moxley and Japanese legend Yuji Nagata, Matt. Holy fuck, was this good?
So much fun.
For 53 years old, the man can put on some moves, put on a compelling match. My God, I hope we get more of Nagata in AEW, man. That was some good shit, pal.
Well, Kenny, anytime they want to bring New Japan guys over to wrestle on Dynamite, I do not have a problem with that.
Nope, not at all. A lot of people bitching, like, what the fuck is this song? A Wild Thing, of course, classic by the Trogs from the 1960s, made famous by a band. I can't remember who. I thought it was Joan Jett at first, but I don't think it was. But they played it, of course, in Major League for Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn. A lot of people complaining, thinking Moxley's theme got replaced. No, I don't. I'm pretty sure.
You think people were complaining? I didn't see anybody complain on my timeline. Everybody thought it was great.
I saw a lot of complaints. It was probably the uneducated that were complaining because obviously it was a tribute to Japanese deathmatch legend Onita, who's used the song. A lot of people thought that there were his song got replaced, kind of like Orange Cassidy. I don't think so.
It might be.
I don't think so. I think this was a tribute to Onita for this match with Nagata. I think that's all this was. We'll go back to your regular.
I guess we'll find out eventually. I don't know, man. I could definitely see them wanting a song like that for live crowds and everybody.
Live crowd, it would be hot.
On the Wild Thing type thing. I like a jam-packed crowd at Double or Nothing, and everybody singing along. Like, I don't know, man.
It'd be cool.
I think it could happen.
It'd be cool. I just don't. It doesn't fit Mox at all to me. I get a one-off because of the tribute, but with the tribute to Onita, but I don't know if I don't know if I'd necessarily be a fan of it.
Well, I mean,
Full,
if Mox wants it, it's his choice.
yeah.
And and at the same token, if Tony Khan wants to pay for it,
Yeah.
that's also his choice.
Hey, Khan, by the way, why don't you please pay for some Cult of Personality, please and thank you. Oh, pay for some Final Countdown too, please and thank you. Those are just
I think when they finally have Thunder Rosa under contract, he's gonna get that AC/DC track.
Oh, Thunderstruck?
Yeah.
That'd be badass.
Because the crowd even chants it sometimes when she's out there. They're like, Thunder.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't invest in it right now because you don't have her under contract.
But
I say when her deal with NWA is up, if you can lock her down, I see Khan going out and paying for that track.
I don't foresee a situation where she does not sign with AEW.
I think it would be insanity on her part to go anywhere else.
I find it interesting that they're still doing the whole NWA Women's Championship thing on AEW with Power back in play. But I think
Deeb is a contracted AEW talent.
Yeah, my guess is Deeb's gonna drop it to Thunder and Thunder's gonna drop it to Camille. Is gonna be my guess. I think that's what we're gonna get with that title. That would probably be the most likely scenario of them all. Is that kind of scenario?
I couldn't tell you because I haven't watched a single episode of the new relaunch of Power, so
me either.
I don't know a damn thing that's going on over there, to be perfectly honest. And I'll be quite frank, I don't care.
I'm not going to pay for it. I would have paid for it a year ago when it was,
when the roster was different.
Yeah,
like I don't care about their roster they have right now.
No, I mean they did not.
I like the fact that Taryn Terrell's and Velvet Sky are over there, but as far as I know, I don't believe either of them are wrestling. I think Velvet's a commentator, and I think Taryn's doing like managerial stuff like Melina's doing. So like if they're not gonna wrestle, like I don't care. Like, and I don't care to pay for a company that in 2021 is pushing Brodus Clay and Chris Masters. I just don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't fucking care.
So this week's NWA, we got Matthew Mims, no idea who he is.
No clue.
Took on Matt Cross, who's a good talent. He was in Lucha Underground as Son of Havoc. That was a number one contenders match for the TV title. Matthew Mims, I have no idea who this dude is. Go to like Pro Fight DB. Wow. Apparently he's only wrestled in the NWA. So
great. And they expect us to I'm sorry. Like this would be something I might check it out on YouTube if it was on there for free.
Yeah.
But there's no fucking way that I would pay to watch what the content they're putting out right now. Just no freaking way.
You got Aaron Stevens, who's great. It looks like May Valentine's with him now. I thought
she was the backstage interviewer.
Oh, she was okay. Never mind. Yeah, she was interviewing him. Yeah, the way it was worded was kind of weird. Sal. Speaking of May Valentine, Sal Ronaldo. He was in whatever that stable was called with Aldis, and he was with May Valentine. Took on Kratos, who I don't, God of War. I don't know. Apparently Kratos is feuding with Aaron Stevens, but I have no idea what Kratos is.
Kratos hell of pickup, man. They're making that Sony money now.
Yeah, right. And then Jax Dane against Slice Boogie, Falls Count Anywhere was your main event.
Who?
Yeah.
I'm not paying for this. If I want to watch a bunch of people that I don't know that will eventually could become something, I'll watch AEW Dark or Elevation.
Yeah. Where it's free.
Why? Yeah, exactly. Why the fuck would I pay for this?
Because Jax Dane, never heard of him, but he's like 2 years younger than me, and I'm 41. Do the math. But he started wrestling really late in his career, not until 2012. So he was 31 when he started his career, and it's all been in the NWA, a little bit of New Japan, a little bit of like a cup of coffee in Ring of Honor and Impact. Like yeah. But yeah, who? And then Slice Boogie, I've heard of the name, but I mean, it's not like he's gonna make me want to pay money to see him. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, I look. I'm assuming that Fight is paying them a very large sum of money, but I don't know if Fight's seeing a return on their investment.
I mean,
Like I can't imagine that for whatever Fight decided to pay the NWA for this product. I can't imagine that they've seen their money come back.
no.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, man.
$5 a month.
No, thank you. There's plenty of other things I could spend $5 a month on and
Yeah,
feel like I'm getting my money's worth.
I don't have time enough as it is to even watch Elevation or Dark. I just don't.
I try to turn on Elevation on Monday nights, like when I'm winding down at the end of the evening. I don't watch Dark on Tuesdays, but I do try to catch Elevation every week. I feel it's the more important show.
Is it? Okay.
I feel more stars are on there, and I really enjoy Paul White's sit down interviews.
Oh, okay.
With the upcoming talent that he does on there every week, and like introducing them and giving them a character background and stuff like that. I think it really helps you care about the stars you end up seeing compete on the program. So yeah, I think Elevation is a really good show every week. I don't really watch Dark anymore.
How long is Elevation usually?
Normally like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Normally, like that, I would say that's probably their average runtime. And I turn it on like around midnight, like when there's nothing on TV.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling, my bedroom, winding down for the night. Yeah, and it's enjoyable. To be perfectly honest, I like it more than I like Raw.
Well, that's a low bar.
So
it's funny how Raw keeps getting better every week over the past month, but it's like so incremental you don't even notice it. It's like, okay, this week was better than last week, but like barely, and that's still a low bar. So I mean, it's still a long 3 hours that, even with DVR, because I didn't start it till about an hour and a half later, and so I just watched it all on DVR, and that still felt like a long time.
I'm tired of all the repetitiveness on Raw. I feel like I'm watching the same fucking matches every week. I've had enough of it. It's just show me a little bit of originality, please. Like, I'm not asking for much. WWE's roster is so big. Like, I do not need to see the same matches week after week after week on that program. It's become tiresome, man.
I think they're finally starting to get out of that rut. I mean, I mean, it's not a compelling feud by any mean, but they're doing something with Angel Garza and Drew Gulak, which,
don't worry, they'll run that in the ground in a month.
Yeah. So
just like they do everything else. That's the problem.
It's two guys that have been sitting on the sidelines for way too long. So at least they're getting a little bit of time for a feud. So hopefully, things get better there. Back to Dynamite. Alex Marvez interviewing 3/5 of the Inner Circle. They said Jericho was out after his fall off the cage. Wink, wink. And Santana was in jail because of the fork incident. And
I'm assuming he's sick or something, and they wanted a storyline reason why he wasn't there.
Yep, or had to leave.
That's the only thing I can assume.
Yeah, something happened there. Cody Rhodes comes out, exactly the announcement I expected him to make, with a match against Anthony Ogogo at Double or Nothing.
Was it too long?
The promo?
Yes.
I liked it.
I thought it was like 2 minutes too long.
I liked it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked the overall promo.
Yeah.
But there was a point in the middle of it. I was just like, get to the point, Cody. And, and then he really picked it up and, and hammered it home and delivered at the end. But there was a point, early midway through the promo, like, come on, Cody, get to the point, please.
Pretty cool. Cody says at Double or Nothing, he will not be the American Nightmare, but rather the American Dream. Something that only he or his brother could don. I thought that was pretty cool to fit, to tie in with a go-go trashing America and everything like that. I think it is very, very cool. I liked it a lot that he'll be known as the American Dream, Cody Rhodes at Double or Nothing. Nice touch there. Tag team championships on the line, Young Bucks and SCU. And no surprise, these four guys have been up and down the roads with each other for a long time. Knew they were going to have a good match. Jesus Christ, Daniels got busted open, didn't he?
It looked like the hard way, too. Like, I could be wrong.
Oh, that shit was pouring out of his face.
But it looked like he got busted up the hard way, man.
Oh, it was pouring out of his face. And then when either Matt or Nick mounted him and they busted it open the hard way again. It's like, that I knew that was definitely busted open the hard way again after it kind of the bleeding kind of slowed down and Daniels was in the ring to do to try to make the miraculous comeback, which didn't happen. I liked how he went for the BME and he was so bloodied up and he couldn't pull it off, but then he pulled it off again. I was very surprised that the aerosol can did not end the match. So then I thought, oh shit, maybe something crazy is going to happen. But no, the BTE trigger happened right after that. And Young Bucks get the win, retain the titles. SCU is no longer. Of course, Scorpio Sky turning heel, and now Daniels and Kazarian, known as the Addiction for the longest time. Bad Influence, was that the other name they were known as?
Yeah.
In Impact?
Yeah.
And of course, SCU, which became a phenomenon for the past few years with Ring of Honor and AEW. It's a shame, Matt, but all good things come to an end, right?
I never wanted to see SCU end, so
No.
it was a bittersweet bummer to me because I really enjoyed the match.
Yeah,
but just the idea that I'm never going to see SCU again just really kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So
it does.
Yeah, mixed feelings coming out of that match. I think it should have closed the show. Personally.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Miro winning the title earlier on in the night, and then that closing gives more people like, oh my god, maybe SCU is gonna win.
Yeah.
Like it's the main event because SCU is gonna, shock the world and win.
In hindsight,
I think it was a lot more evident putting it earlier on in the show that SCU wasn't winning the titles.
Yeah.
Or they would have main evented.
And in hindsight, we thought Miro was gonna just kill Darby, but then it turned out to be
there's a reason for that too.
He did kill Darby, but then it turned out to be a tremendous match with Darby doing what Darby does.
I don't think it was meant to be.
What do you mean?
The Orange Cassidy got legit hurt tonight.
Oh yeah.
He
got legit.
Oh
hurt.
Yeah, that power bomb thing fucked him up. Apparently he's okay now.
Yeah.
But the original finish for that match was a 20-minute draw.
Yeah, Mike Johnson reported on that.
Which was going to turn it into a triple threat match at Double or Nothing. So they called it on the fly to get Omega involved because they didn't want to eliminate Orange from the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And just have Pac pin him. So that took away that freed up 8 minutes of the show.
Yeah, I read up.
And they're like, oh fuck, what?
So we're gonna have Darby work from behind like he always does.
And I think that's why Miro beat the fucking shit out of him for
a
good 8 to 10 minutes. It felt like before the bell even run and the match even started.
Which was a brilliant.
I feel like they were just trying to eat up that time that they ended up not having from that match.
And that was a brilliant thing too, because we knew the stipulation Darby had to defend the belt or else he was going to forfeit it. So it was almost a brilliant strategy by Miro to come out of the gate and just beat the shit out of him before the bell even rang, because he knew that Darby had to defend the title at some point. I didn't realize they called it because of Pac or of Cassidy getting hurt. then I read what Mike Johnson said. I didn't read it. I guess I read it wrong what Mike Johnson reported on, and thought that they just called an audible to save time. I didn't realize it was because he was hurt. So
Yeah.
and so he gets hurt. That's what a brilliant call on the fly by probably Tony Khan. Say, hey, Kenny, get out there and cause the DQ. You know, that was kind of a brilliant move on the fly, I thought, because it felt like a legit, you know.
It felt like Kenny's promo afterwards was kind of off the cuff. Like I feel like they were really spitballing. They didn't really know what they were doing there.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know what they were going to say because it really wasn't the plan for how it was supposed to go. But Fightful, like said, in an update on Orange Cassidy, we're told that he's okay now, but an audible was called on the fly to adjust the finish of the match with Pac. When it became clear that Orange Cassidy was hurt and trying to fight through it, a change was called that would preserve Cassidy's spot in the AEW Double or Nothing match. The three-way title match was always the plan, but the two were supposed to originally go to a 20-minute draw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Which I think we called that last week, didn't we?
I think
that we thought
we called triple threat.
Would go to a draw.
We called triple threat. Yeah, I'd have to go back to the tape, but I know there was triple threat in the prediction of either you or me. In that, so hey, I'm all for that, man. That's going to be a hell of a triple threat. All for it. Obviously, Omega's going to win, but we're all wait. It's all going to be building to Hangman and Omega whenever they decide to do it. Speaking of that Double or Nothing title shot, that was what was next. So we basically ran all that down. Young Bucks. Eddie Kingston. This was after the SCU match. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley destroy the Elite's locker room. And then Eddie Kingston tells Jon Moxley to destroy the bathroom. And no, it's not trashing it. It's to take a big ass dump in it. I thought that was fucking hilarious. We go, the Young Bucks then are angry that their locker room's been vandalized. So they set up the challenge at Double or Nothing. But first, they are going to take on the number 1 ranked Varsity Blondes for the tag team championships next week. So it'll be cool to see those guys get a tag team title shot. I'm a big fan of Garrison and Pillman. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison? And of course, obviously, they're not going to win that match. So then eventually it'll be for the titles at Double or Nothing.
To me, it's just another title match to pad their stats before Double or Nothing.
Yeah, you think it'll end up being a title match by the time we get there, right?
I mean, they didn't say they didn't come out and say it was going to be a title match because clearly they have
the match next week.
Because they have the title match next week. But yeah, it's going to be for the titles, and I think the titles might change.
I think so too.
So
shit.
Damn right, John. Had a little segment with Adam Page in the Dark Order, challenging Brian Cage. Adam Page challenging Brian Cage to a rematch at Double or Nothing. We got the Pinnacle coronation. Tully Blanchard with a fucking great promo. Love it. MJF getting interrupted by honking horns. Again, somebody getting interrupted by honking horns. People like to honk their horns on AEW, I guess.
What happens in your outdoor, and it's what happens in your outdoor venue, pal.
Honking that horn was Sammy Guevara driving a golf cart. Ironically, it was more like a gator. It wasn't a golf cart. That was kind of a gator ATV type of deal. Pulling a trailer with a little bit of the bubbly on it. You saw a little gun on there, and I think we got a little. I had a feeling we had a little Stone Cold Steve Austin tribute there. MJF made fun that there's only 3 of them, but then Jericho was hiding in the back with his arm in a brace and challenging the Pinnacle to a rematch, and MJF still said no. So Sammy gave them a lot of bit of the bubbly as he showers the ring with all the Pinnacle taking all the good bubbliness. And MJF says, all right, motherfuckers. And I predicted this on the show earlier. I feel like a Stadium Stampede match is coming, and sure enough, there it is. MJF. I think I might have said it on the show last week too, that I felt like they're going to rematch in a Stadium Stampede. And sure enough, here we are. Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing between Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. But if the Inner Circle loses, they have to disband. But yeah, I fully believe Inner Circle is going to win. Probably set up an All Out rematch, a rubber match for All Out. Don't you think, Matt?
Yeah, I don't. You can't break up the Inner Circle right now. So that would, to me, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. So
yeah, I think it's gonna do they'll get a rubber match at All Out. Thunder Rosa in a squash match. Then they talked about Jade Cargill from what was that, Dark, or was that Elevation that Mark Sterling came up?
It was Elevation.
Okay.
Like I said, there's storylines on Elevation.
Like, weren't there storylines on Dark a little bit?
Not many.
Okay.
To me, anyway. Like, I feel there's a lot more story being done on.
I'll have to try to make a better effort.
Being done on Elevation.
Of course, with moving and trying to get stuff organized. I mean,
I think I know who's going to eventually manage Jade.
Who?
Selena Del Renta.
Awesome. As she is now no longer with MLW.
Exactly.
That would be fucking great. She's great. I hope AEW gets her.
I think they would be a hell of a pairing.
Oh, fuck yeah.
She can really talk. Since Jade can't. Like, Jade's a pre-tape machine. You got to pre-tape Jade. You can't give her a live mic. You can give Selena a live mic and you're not going to have a problem. And you can just let Jade look impressive and kick ass, and less is more as far as speaking goes. I think it would be an excellent pairing.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm all for that. After the Jade Cargill promo, we got the main event, which we already kind of pretty much ran down. Miro beating up Darby. Miro beating up Darby. All sorts of fun stuff, and I like the fist bump with Sting and Darby. That was kind of a cool little thing. I think they're finally booking Miro the way that they need to. It was turned into a tremendous match. So if this was supposed to be a complete destruction squash, which we expected and probably wanted, we ended up getting a good match out of it because of the unfortunate injury to Orange Cassidy. So Darby always does well, basically coming out of impossible odds to challenge in a match, and he did the same thing here with Miro. After the match, Paige and Sky attack Sting. They're playing off Sting having a gimpy leg, and so they attacked that. The Dark Order then chased them off, so we're starting to kind of get a little bit of an alliance with the Dark Order and Sting, with Darby Allin. And then Lance Archer comes out. It looks like we're going to probably Double or Nothing get Lance Archer and Miro for the TNT title, and boy, I'm all for that. That would be a good match there. So one thing I forgot, yet another good sit-down interview, Jim Ross and Dr. Britt Baker ahead of her title match as well. But yeah, Matt, once again, yet another good Dynamite in the books, huh?
Thought it was a great episode.
Number one show in cable last week with Blood and Guts, the first time they've ever been number one in all of cable. So that's a pretty good accomplishment. We'll see where they land in the ratings tomorrow or today as you listen to the show, or whatnot. May 13th, Thursday, is when of course the ratings will come out for that. Weren't good for NXT. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Shocking. I was shocked when I saw those numbers.
NXT happened this week, Tuesday. So yeah, we'll talk about the numbers later in headlines, but NXT itself happened, which was weird that there were bad ratings for it, worst ratings since they moved to Tuesday, because 2 title matches on the show.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good show.
It was a good show. Yeah.
So I was when I saw those numbers this afternoon, I'm like, what the fuck?
Kick off with Karrion Kross and Austin Theory. Of course, that led there's a little bit of a lead up to this over the past couple of weeks. Decent little match there. Theory getting a little bit of offense in thanks to Johnny Gargano's interference, but of course, in the end, no surprise, Karrion Kross with the win there. I love this visual of Kross just standing in the ring staring at Gargano, and then there's Finn Balor basically side by side with him. I love that visual. I thought that was pretty funny. Finn wants a rematch. Kross says, let's do this. I believe, what, 2 weeks? Is that when that's coming?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Which is really weird since freaking TakeOver in your house is the 13th next month, I think.
16th.
16th?
Or
no, it's the 13th.
13th, yeah.
Yeah, June 13th. So like if you're doing your title match, on the 25th, how the fuck are you gonna build another NXT championship match in 2 weeks time? I feel like they're rushing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, initially
it's kind of weird to me.
Initially, I thought maybe Pete Dunne would cause a no contest on this, but I think Pete Dunne's probably facing Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver.
I thought Pete Dunne might be busy with Bobby Fish.
Maybe
because in shoot reality, I mean, Fish was injured. Pete Dunne injured Fish.
Yeah, but that isn't
so. Fish told O'Reilly in the ring last night that he had his own scores to settle.
Yeah.
Now that he was back,
that'll happen.
That'll happen. So I figure the biggest score to settle would be the person who injured him.
Yeah, that's going to probably happen on NXT before TakeOver, and then because O'Reilly and Dunn's going to be more of a TakeOver match than Fish and Dunne, I think.
Look, but you don't know, dude. If they're already going to burn through the Finn Kross rematch in 2 weeks, maybe O'Reilly's challenging it in your house.
O'Reilly and Kross?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And there's several possibilities right now, which actually I always enjoy when, it's harder to figure out what the fuck they're doing.
Oh hell yeah, it's a lot more fun to talk about too.
Yeah.
A&E biography this weekend, Shawn Michaels. I bet that'll be a good one. I have not watched Macho Man or Booker T yet because I don't get A&E anymore, switching to YouTube TV after I moved to my new place. So
liked the Booker T one, hated the Savage one.
Yeah, I'll have to try to catch up on those, or at least go out of my way to try to get Shawn Michaels watched, because that's going to be a good one. Oddly enough, it's on WrestleMania Backlash, so I completely forgot about WrestleMania Backlash this weekend.
How dare you, sir?
Oh well, it kind of snuck up on me there. So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the show too.
I mean, nobody cares about the Raw side of things, but I mean,
yeah,
you gotta be excited to see Cesaro versus Roman.
Leon Ruff, all full of piss and vinegar, walks into William Regal's office and wants to compete. Says he's been cleared to compete. Regal says you're still not getting a match, and Ruff leaves in a huff. See what I did there?
I'm now calling him Leon Bitchfit Ruff.
Will you stop?
I was doing that to myself, not you, Matt. When I said Ruff left in a huff. I like what they've been doing with Ruff with the Swerve feud, and this week I thought they did pretty good with Ruff here. He's been doing pretty good, considering he weighs like $105.
I think he's turning too. I look, unless they're planning to turn him heel, I think they might be doing a disservice to his character at the moment.
How so?
Because like nobody wants to cheer for a fucking bitch baby.
Oh.
And that's pretty much what he is right now.
I didn't really see it as that, so.
Oh my god, dude, he threw a temper tantrum. And Regal had to kick him out of his office. Go back and watch it, dude. He legit threw a fucking bitch fit.
I literally watched it 3 hours ago.
Maybe you weren't paying enough attention to the segment.
MSK took on Fandango and Breeze, which are known as a Breezango. Must have lost the rights to Fandango's music because they've been just last couple times they've been out, it's just using Breeze's music.
Yeah, it's been weird.
MSK winning, no surprise. I think it was a non-title match too.
It was a non-title match. I thought it was actually I thought it was a very good match.
Oh yeah, tremendous.
I actually, like I said, I really enjoyed NXT last night. I was stunned when I saw those ratings today.
Teasing a little Fandango heel turn, but God, we got enough heel tag teams. There's not enough babyface tag teams in this.
Well, if they turn him heel and leave Breeze face, they might split the tag team.
You think Breezango splits? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that too because they're both good singles wrestlers. I love Breezango, but they're good singles wrestlers.
Well, the thing is there truthfully, is there anything left
for
Breezango to do?
No, they got the titles. So
yeah, I mean, like, unless they want to do another run,
yeah,
for him, it's just not going to happen.
There's a lot of fun creative things they've done with Breezango, but I think this is good. If they split, it's going to be good for both of them because they never, especially Fandango. Breeze did get a little bit of a rub as a singles wrestler in NXT, but neither one of them really got going as singles wrestlers because Fandango beats Jericho at WrestleMania, then really nothing after that. That's after a career in NXT where he did really not much. I think he had some stuff with EC3 and shit back in the day. But never really got a push. Tyler Breeze never really fought. I don't think he ever has ever had a shot at the NXT title. So a Breezango split might be good for both guys to give them each at least a run or two in the singles realm that they've not had before. So Gargano. We got our weekly Gargano and Regal segment. I love that. I love those segments. We got Gargano against Bronson Reed steel cage match for the North American title next week. They announced NXT TakeOver in your house June 13th, and it'll be hosted by none other than Todd Pettengill.
God.
Ever Rise made an appearance.
And that's all we've got to say about that.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but Ever Rise is starting to grow on me. I don't know why I'm
like
saying
a fungus.
It might be why. That might be the growth part. Yeah. Pete Dunne cutting a promo and says, well, Karrion Kross has chosen Finn Balor, so I guess I need something to do. Open challenge time, and that's when Leon Ruff hits him from behind, and we start a match off, and Pete Dunne gets him in about 3 minutes after a referee stoppage. Vignette aired. Frankie Monet's in-ring debut will be in 2 weeks, so that'll be great. Can't wait to see her in the ring. Finn Balor and Karrion Kross made official NXT on May 25th. 2 weeks. Then we got NXT Women's Championship. Raquel Gonzalez against Mercedes Martinez. Damn good 12-minute title match. I enjoyed it. At no point did I think Mercedes was going to win it, but these two delivered a hell of a match, didn't they, Matt?
Yeah, I thought it was hard hitting. I thought it was really solid.
Waiting on that Dakota Kai heel turn. It's coming.
They'll split them up eventually. I don't know if they're doing it right now.
It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna. It may be. That might be your women's title match at the takeover after in your house, but it's coming. I've been saying it for about 2 months now, but it's coming. Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory attack Bronson Reed in the locker room, and so then we got cameos from Scotty 2 Hotty and Steve Corino, who checked on Bronson Reed there. I forgot Scotty 2 Hotty was in NXT.
I didn't even notice. I only noticed Carrillo. I didn't notice Scotty 2 Hotty.
Yeah. And you can hardly notice Carrillo anymore. He's got long hair and a long beard now. Isaiah Swerve Scott comes out with his new entourage. I don't know if we talked about this last week. I think we did. Hit Row Records, and I said, "No, it's definitely Swerve's new stable," which it was with Ashante, the Adonis, and AJ Francis, former football player. I think he played about 6 to 8 years in the NFL. Played for Washington and whatnot. He's a big dude. And then Brandy, what's her last name? Brianna Brandy. I kind of like this group, Matt. I like to see where this goes. I like it. I love the vignettes that Swerve had done from the studio. I kind of like this group. I think it's going to add something fresh to NXT, and I kind of want to see where it goes. What were your thoughts, Matt?
Dude, anything that's going to give Swerve a push,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm good with it. So
yep, me too. I like this group. Obviously, Adonis is a talented guy that's still kind of green. And AJ Francis is a big dude. So I like this group. I like this group a lot. And you kind of make it a stable. It's kind of like a record label. And that's something that you really have not really seen much in pro wrestling. So I like it. I like it a lot. Excited to see where this goes. Oh, Swerve's definitely getting a title of some sort out of this, whether it be North American or even NXT. You never know. How about the house auction, Matt?
my God.
Oh my God, these segments are so fucking good.
I don't know where it's leading, but I'm fucking here for it. For the long fucking haul, man.
I mean,
don't look. Cameron Grimes never needs to wrestle another match again.
Just vignettes with DiBiase.
Seriously, just vignettes with Ted DiBiase. And look, and here's the ultimate payoff.
Yeah,
DiBiase's not letting Cameron Grimes buy anything, and DiBiase goes bankrupt trying to ruin Cameron Grimes' life.
I don't think
Grimes then becomes the $1 million man.
He gets the $1 million. He gets the $1 million title by forfeiture.
It would be amazing.
I don't think it's possible for DiBiase to run out of money, though.
I probably not, but I'm just saying. I think it would be a funny thing to do.
Ted DiBiase. I hate that Ted DiBiase. Oh my God. I mean, I was always a fan of Grimes because I loved his in-ring work, and the character's been good, but once you put that millionaire character on, that just shot him over the top. Fucking love it.
Would you say it shot him to the moon?
To the moon. Oh, fuck. Love it. Zoe Stark vignette talking about Tony Storm. We got Kyle O'Reilly against Oney Lorcan. Kyle O'Reilly getting the win afterwards. Pete Dunne and Lorcan beating up on him. And welcome back, Bobby Fish. Good to see old Bobby Fish back. I haven't seen him since War Games. War Games!
Fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish. It's a serious question.
Was that Riddle? It was
Riddle and Dunn.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if Chuck Taylor could chuck wood? Man. So good to see Bobby back. As Matt had said, they had a little bit of words. Kyle saying, I'm on my own now. And Fish says, well, yeah, I got my own shit to take care of. So, but hey, we're on the same page. Red Dragon is always going to be on the same page, right, Matt?
I would say so. I don't want to see those guys at each other's throats.
Red Dragon is forever. For people wondering what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, I mean, shit. Red Dragon was a thing when we were doing our show. Back when we talked about Ring of Honor.
I was very anti Bobby Fish back then.
You were. I met Bobby Fish. I met Bobby Fish when you and I were in Dallas. I got to talk with Bobby Fish for a little bit. So good dude. He was just
that dude annoyed the shit out of me in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. He was just
annoyed the shit out of me.
he was just standing there during Supercard of Honor back in 2016. And he was just standing there. So I said, "Hey, Bobby, love your work," and we chatted for a couple minutes. I chatted with I chatted with Keith Lee and Shane Taylor that night as well. And Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, you remember this, Matt? They worked the dark match of that show. And 5 years later, look at both guys. Well, Keith Lee's not doing much lately, but Keith Lee's been a champion in WWE, and Shane Taylor has been a champion in Ring of Honor. So pretty crazy how things happen, huh, Matt? When you meet people and you just don't know that they're gonna explode in a few years.
Yeah. You never know, man. You never know.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool to see. We could say we saw Shane Taylor and Keith Lee tagging in a dark match at WrestleMania weekend. 2 out of 3 falls between Kushida and Santos Escobar. Legado got involved early. MSK intercepted, and neutralized Legado, and the refs sent all 4 men back. So we got it 1-on-1. Santos Escobar with a Phantom Driver got the first pin. Literally immediately right after that, Kushida with a cross arm breaker tapping out Santos. And so we went 1-1 for quite a while. And then that third fall, man, tremendous fucking shit from these two guys. What a team. It's probably one of the better television matches you're going to see. Was the end of NXT with Kushida and Santos, and they brought it, Matt. Good finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good match.
Who would you like anybody on top of your head you'd like to see challenge Kushida? What do you put Swerve in that, or I want to go bigger for Swerve, kind of.
I mean, I think it's a perfect place for Swerve to start.
True.
And honestly, if they ain't doing anything with Mustafa Ali and Ricochet,
oh my god,
main event, let them go down there and work with
Could
Kushida.
you imagine?
And I would love to see a triple threat between those 3 men for that title.
Imagine.
I just think it would be incredible.
And when we've seen rumors of Daniel Bryan wanting to work NXT if he stays with the company, imagine him in that division too. We're talking like WCW levels of talent in that fucking division, aren't we? If all those guys came together, I mean, imagine that.
It would be nuts, man.
I mean, that would be Juventud, Mysterio, Guerrero, Malenko all over again, man. Somebody listening, please, get these guys off of main event and catering and put this division together on NXT. And maybe you might bump yourself up from what that low number you had this week, because holy fuck, that's a great idea, Matt.
I have one every now and then.
Yeah. So NXT, great show. Tremendous. What was this called? Throwback SmackDown or Flash? I don't know, whatever the fuck, old school SmackDown we'll call it. Well, I've learned my lesson not to get excited for old school whatever Raw or SmackDown match.
Well, this wasn't a WWE call.
No, it was a Fox call.
Yeah, this was the Fox was doing something with their
NASCAR,
with their programming that week, so everything was doing like the whole old school thing. So WWE just kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't even blame. I don't blame WWE on this one. This was a Fox mandate, and they were just following in line with their people. I thought SmackDown was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the show, and I thought Teddy Long added a great deal to it. So
yeah, I liked the Teddy Long and Sonya Deville segments. Those are really good. It's just, the classic part of it. But yeah, you're right. But I mean, the classic Raw, the last few times it's just been, we show the same clips and maybe bring out the same people and do some backstage segments. It's never been fresh the last 4 or 5 times they've done it. And so this one was no exception. It was a good show though, but the old school part of it, there wasn't much to it. I liked Pat McAfee dressing as a billionaire. And Michael Cole dressing as I don't know. What was Cole dressed as?
I have no idea.
I was trying to think of what Pat McAfee called him, but it was funny. Fucking Pat McAfee's hilarious. Hey, we start off with Roman Reigns because I mean it's SmackDown, so we just start off with Roman Reigns, right? But welcome back, Jimmy Uso. And then Cesaro interrupted, and they start brawling. I said this on Friday on the Twitter. I go, I wonder if Jimmy's gonna fall in line. I won't be so. I would not be surprised, Matt, if we get Jimmy versus Jay at SummerSlam. And then I've been filling in for Smack Talk on Sportskeeda, which airs live after SmackDown with Ricky Chino and Dutch Mantel, who formerly managed Jack Swagger, Jake Hager.
Yeah.
And Rick said, Rick interviewed Jay not too long ago, and Jay said it would be a dream to face his brother in a match. So I think we're gonna head to that probably towards SummerSlam, Matt.
I don't know if they'll drag it out that long.
Yeah, maybe Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think it's major enough to have it in front of a crowd at SummerSlam, but whatever.
They could be back as a tag team by SummerSlam.
Kiss and make up. They both turn on Roman. Teddy Long, of course, coming out on stage and on a Throwback SmackDown and said that Adam Pearce gave him the authority that if Cesaro beats Seth Rollins, then he gets to face Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania Backlash. I thought he was out there to make a tag match. No. Cesaro and Seth Rollins, no surprise, put on a hell of a match. No surprise, Cesaro winning with a neutralizer, so he will go on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash. Our prediction for that will happen at the end of the show. And next up, we got Seth Rollins in Roman Reigns' office and saying that that son of a bitch Jimmy cost him the match. It says that him and Roman go way back, but does not like what happened. But Roman says he does not like what happened either. And so there you go. I thought it was pretty cool to see those two do kind of a segment together since, obviously all the history with the Shield. Now they're both heels. I thought it was pretty cool to see them do. You think they'll work together a little more in the future, Matt?
I mean, Seth Rollins kind of feels directionless at the moment, so probably.
Yeah.
Like, I really can't tell you what Seth Rollins' current storyline is.
There is not one.
Yeah. So, well, there you go.
Of course, with Throwback SmackDown, we got throwback clips and probably one of the best SmackDown segments ever. Price check on Jackass. God, that is, Matt, when we hit December 13th this year, that will have been 20 years ago when Booker T got attacked by Stone Cold in the supermarket.
Woof.
December 13th of 01. Oh, I love that. That was a great segment.
You feel old yet?
I feel old when I saw this morning that the Foo Fighters got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Teddy Long talking to Sonya Deville. No Adam Pearce this week. So Teddy is working with Sonya. Sami Zayn came in and was hoping Teddy would give him a match for the Intercontinental title. But Teddy said, "You're going one-on-one with The Undertaker." Whoops. Teddy got all his shit in this week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But Teddy said it's going to be a 10-man tag playa. I wonder if Teddy said King Booker on purpose. I think he did, probably. Never know. Maybe Teddy's stuck in that time. Who knows? We got the old Jimmy is not nobody's bitch. So obviously you see the rift with Jimmy and Roman Reigns. Good to see Ruby Riott wrestle Carmella. Oh wait, it lasted all of 3 minutes. Christ. They showed a classic clip from 02 when Edge and Hulk Hogan beat Billy and Chuck for the tag titles. And we got another clip from the past, of course, when Brock Lesnar and Big Show in the superplex that imploded the ring, which was fucking cool at the time because it was nothing we'd ever seen before. And Taz almost cussing on air. Bailey did a thing running down women's, the past great women's champions, and then mentioning herself, all setting up her match with Bianca Belair. Bianca comes out, and they get into it a little bit there. We got more of Jimmy and Jay, and all how that's coming out. I kind of like how that's coming out there. Of course, we got anytime we do a classic show, we got to show the ruthless aggression segment that led John Cena to the beginning of his career, and Undertaker giving him props. We got Dominic Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler. That was a real quick match. Of course, we got the tag title match coming up at WrestleMania Backlash, where we'll give our prediction there. Promotional consideration paid for by WWE ice cream bars. That probably pissed off Phil. Tamina took on Reginald. Why? Why, Matt? Why?
I got nothing.
And then the 10-man tag was interesting because two guys that were not involved in a storyline were the ones involved in the pinfall when Baron Corbin hit the end of days on Nakamura.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
Probably your kickoff show match at Backlash, I bet. I mean, why else would you have two guys? The only two guys that weren't in stories were in there. So, okay. Roman Reigns then ends the show. And basically kind of showing that there's more that Jimmy's not quite ready to fall in line there. And then Cesaro comes in for the attack to close the show. So, yeah, good episode of SmackDown there, considering, like I said, the classic stuff was but like Matt said, it was kind of thrown together. Monday Night Raw starts with a match rather than a promo, so that's surprising. But Charlotte Flair and the tag champs Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax took on Asuka, Dana Brooke, and Mandy Rose. Interrupted by Alexa Bliss and Lily. Not a fan of Lily, are you, Matt?
It's so fucking dumb. I didn't need to see Bray Wyatt get his gimmick stolen from him and given to Alexa Bliss. It just gives me another reason to hate Bliss. We haven't seen fucking Bray since the Raw after WrestleMania.
I know.
Like, just not fucking cool that they ruined him like this.
I don't know what McMahon has against the Rotundas.
Clearly something.
Yeah. So it looked like Alexa put a hex on Shayna Baszler. So I hope to. Oh my God. I just had a bad feeling, Matt. Watch Shayna and Nia Jax retain their belts, and then they take on Alexa and Lily. Don't put it past old Vince to do that.
Shut up!
You
can see Vince doing that, can't you, Matt?
I don't even want to talk anymore.
Because
you just ruined everything.
Because I'm right. Oh, we got a segment with the New Days and Riddle. That's always good. And Randy Orton showing up and Riddle making catch-up jokes. Again, another example of shitty booking, the whole tomato thing. Christ, that was dumb. That whole tomato thing. They tease MVP and Strowman going into business with each other. Yeah, whatever. Jinder Mahal is back. He's got the well, I can't remember what their tag name was, but Veer and Shanky, and they destroyed Jeff Hardy. There you go. You put Jeff Hardy in that cruiserweight division as well, Matt.
Poor Jeff.
This is his contract. He resigned, but it's probably not up for a while, is it?
I don't know how long he signed. I know he
Yeah.
signed a new deal. Hopefully it wasn't a long one. Because if it was, that dude fucked.
Yeah, bring them down to that cruiserweight division that we're going to build and make NXT great again here. Riddle, Randy Orton, and the New Day take on AJ, Almost, Elias, and Riker. Decent little match there with the good guys winning, and then after that, Randy Orton just says "fuck it" and RKO's the New Day too, because that's what Randy Orton does. But RK Bro still the best thing on Raw, right, Matt?
I mean, yeah. I mean, is there really anything else good happening on Raw right now?
No. Sheamus took on Alberto Carrillo. Carrillo got hurt, so they had to call to call the match there, or wave off the match basically, as Carrillo could not continue. Word is Carrillo is fine though, but it didn't look good when Sheamus landed on him on the outside. Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. Wish it would have went a little longer. Probably could have been a little. It was a good match for what they, the time they were given. I just wish it would have been a little longer. Shelton Benjamin went in with the old T-bone suplex, his finisher from way back in the day in the early 2000s. Would you have had Cedric go over there though, Matt?
Not after the way Cedric buried him on the microphone last week.
Yeah.
Benjamin pretty much had to win, or they might as well release him afterwards.
Yeah, I get you. Angel Garza doing a photo shoot. That's when Gulak showed up and asked if Garza had any respect for his profession. So nice little lower mid-card feud built in there. It's something that Raw needs to do a little more of, and I kind of like that they're doing that with a couple of guys we haven't seen in a while. Asuka, Rhea Ripley. Rhea gets the clean pin on Asuka. I mean, almost everybody and their dog probably would have bet that Charlotte was going to get involved, but didn't happen. Rhea got the clean pin, which doesn't do Asuka any favors ahead of Sunday, does it, Matt?
Not even a little bit.
John Morrison took on Damian Priest. That was a good match. I thought that was one of the better parts of Raw was Priest and Morrison.
The two of them work really well together.
They do. They gave him about 15 minutes. That Miz and Morrison split's happening too, isn't it, Matt?
Yes, sooner rather than later, probably too.
I said Maurice was going to be the Yoko Ono of that duo, and sure enough, it's happening. It's a happening.
I mean, Maurice isn't even on TV right now. You can't blame Maurice for this.
No, but that's when it started. Is when Maurice was back on TV. That's when it all started. The beginning of the end started. Hey, we got to see Eva Marie twice. There's nothing wrong with that, is there, Matt?
No, didn't mind it. I didn't understand why they repeated the same segment from last week.
Right.
Then they gave her a new one. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Well, because Vince assumes we can't remember shit. That's why we see the same replay 5 times throughout a Raw. Priest beating Morrison means that he got to pick the stipulation for WrestleMania Backlash, and he chooses a lumberjack match so Miz can't bitch out. Main event, Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Good main event, ended in a DQ with Strowman taking everybody out. Strowman acting like he was going to shake hands with Bobby Lashley, and then nope, gonna run and power slam your ass too. So that was the end of yet another mediocre Raw with a couple of bright spots. Agreed?
Yeah, pretty much. Raw.
Raw is bore. You like what I did there? Raw
Not a joke that I haven't heard before, sir.
Raw is Raw is war. Nah, Raw is bore. Raw is Bork. A little bit of breaking news here. AEW has announced that individual tickets for May 28th Dynamite and Double or Nothing will go on sale Monday morning, May 17th at 10 a.m. You can get a combo pack for $60. And of course, Double or Nothing is going to be the first full house at Daly's Place for
like, dude, if I knew someone that wanted to go, like, I'd actually, like, dude, to get. Look, if you're telling me I get to go to Dynamite, the Fan Fest on Saturday, and Double or Nothing on Sunday for $60. Yeah. If somebody wanted to go with me, I think I would go because I get my second vaccination shot on the 21st.
Nice. I got mine.
So I'd be like, by then I'd be good to go. I got
my second one on Friday, and it affected me less than the first. I was worried because I heard I heard all these horror stories about the second one fucking me up. The first one affected me worse than the second one.
Wow.
Yeah, arm still hurt as hell, but I didn't have anything else except for that arm.
Like all I got from the first one was my arm.
First one I had a headache and a little bit of a fever.
Yeah, all I had was a sore arm for like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
I've been fearing what the second shot's gonna do to me since everybody says that's the worst one of the two.
Yeah,
like it's like legit. Like if someone else wanted to go, because I don't want to go by myself.
Yeah.
But if someone else wanted to go to get to 3 AEW events for fucking $60, I'd fucking go.
Yeah,
I would absolutely go.
If I didn't just take a week off from moving, because obviously my time off is limited, only being at State Farm for 9 months now is where I've been, so my time off's pretty limited. So I just took a week off. So yeah, otherwise I might be tempted as well. But also I don't know what my bill situation. I'm living on my own now again for the first time in a while, and I don't know how the bills are going to shake out. Don't know how much the electric bill is going to be, so it's like, it's things that, if I would have known, if I had a better knowledge of what those things were, expectations, then I might be persuaded to go. But oh well.
I just feel like the prices are going to go insanely high again once they're back on the road.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they're what they are now, it's just like, man, take advantage of that while you can.
Yep.
Because $60, man, I paid more than that to go to the first AEW Dynamite in DC.
Yeah.
So $60 for 3 events just sounds, fucking awesome. Yeah, I wish I knew somebody was going. I would love to go with somebody to that.
Yeah, because Friday night it's gonna be Friday night Dynamite because of NBA
playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I already know the 28th is already taken. Like, there's no way I can get that off at work anyways. So that's the other thing about this job is time off. Literally, the next month is already gone. Basically, it's how quickly that stuff goes. But
yeah,
that's the way it is. I got a job. I'm getting paid. So heading into headlines. Before we talk Under Siege and WrestleMania Backlash, cover some headlines. New trademarks being filed. Evolution. No surprise that that's getting trademarked. And Veer, one of Jinder Mahal's new buddies, trademarked as well. Impact Wrestling has announced that they have re-signed Jordan Grace to a new multi-year deal. That was announced during Grace's interview with the Pro Wrestling Illustrated's podcast. So Jordan Grace now going to be with Impact for quite a while there. Bear with me,
you all right?
Yeah, my mouse died. For some reason I lose connection with the mouse for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the battery died. That's not good. We'll spin it around a little bit. There, I got my mouse back. I might need to put a new battery in that thing. Dario Cueto is now in MLW, of course, with Serena De La Renta leaving the company. Dario Cueto has joined MLW. And I think if I remember right, the storyline is he had Selena kidnapped.
I think they killed. I think they implied that he killed her off.
Yeah. Cesar Duran is his name in MLW. MLW has filed the trademark on the name.
See, my thing is, I didn't give a fuck about Lucha Underground, so I sure as fuck don't care about this.
He was a good boss, heel boss on Lucha. I thought he did really well. So that's a good get for them. Going into some ratings, Wipeout with John Cena. Wow. Only getting about NXT numbers there. The last episode got 688,000 viewers on TBS.
That's not bad for a show that's been on for fucking forever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Wipeout's been around for a really long time.
Yeah, it's not good with this iteration. It's too scripted. The jokes are terrible and all that fun stuff. Impact got 123,000 viewers this last week, up from 120,000 the previous week. Dark Side of the Ring premiere of Brian Pillman pulled in 272,000. In comparison, Chris Benoit on season 2's debut got 320. And the high mark of season 2 was Owen Hart at 349, which closed the season out. SmackDown rebounded in a big way. They were below 2 million last week, 1.92. They got 2.157 million. So probably a lot of extra people tuning in, probably for the throwback SmackDown. That's probably how they one of the main reasons why they got that boost. Ms. and Mrs. continues to gain audience members. May 10th episode of Ms. and Mrs. actually the highest they've had in almost a year and a half, 784,000 viewers, which is
they were number 5 on cable for Monday,
which is impressive.
In an 11 p.m. time slot.
Yeah, that time slot. Yeah.
WWE took 4 out of the 5 top spots on cable on Monday. They took the top 3 for the 3 hours of Raw, and they took 5th for Ms. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Like, look, we can hate the show all we want, but that's fucking cable television domination, man.
Yeah. Raw dipped down to 1.81 million as they continue to flounder in that range. Demo's still high at 0.53. Third hour dropped they're getting about third hour, everything looking about the same for Raw. NXT though, man, dropped down to 670.
I was very, very surprised. And I was very surprised when I saw NXT's numbers today.
Very low. Some Peacock updates. Tough Enough seasons 1, 2, 3, and the 2015 revival are added to Peacock now. $1 Million Tough Enough from 2004, and as well as the 2011 edition that was hosted by Stone Cold Steve Austin, still not available. But some additional Tough Enough seasons are added. All Sunday Night Heat episodes from August of 98 to July of 99 that were on the network before are now on Peacock. Almost the entire run of Nitro is on Peacock. There are just a few episodes missing from 99 and 2000. They also added the top 25 greatest rivalries in wrestling history documentary from 2013 that was also recently added. The current scheduled broadcast for Dark Side of the Rings season 3, the Ultra Violence of Nick Gage is going to be May 13th. Collision in Korea, which was God, I don't even know the story about this, but professional wrestlers deployed to North Korea facing a terrible ordeal. I don't even know the story behind that, Matt. You?
I've heard about it before, but I can't tell you. I'm not an expert on it by any means.
May 27th, Becoming a Warrior. So about the Ultimate Warrior. June 3rd, In the Shadow of Grizzly Smith, which is talking about Jake the Snake Roberts. And June 10th, Dynamite Kid. WWE has filed a trademark for an old WCW pay-per-view, Bash at the Beach. They also filed trademarks for the names Ike Manjiro, no idea what that's for, and Ari Sterling, maybe a couple of people that are in the PC, newer signees or something like that, possibly, would be my guess. Moving on. More trademark news. Blair Davenport has been trademarked. And good story there. Kushida reuniting with his family for the first time in about 5 months. I wonder if I didn't know. I thought they lived in Florida, but maybe I guess not. AEW hitting the road has been announced. They're going to hit. They're going to hit the James L. Knight Center in Miami on Wednesday, July 7th. The HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas, which is in the Austin area, July 14th. And the Curtis Colware Center in Garland, Texas, which is in the Dallas area, on July 21st. I bet that Miami show is going to be nuts, Matt.
You would think so.
Yeah. Tickets go on sale for all 3 shows this Friday, May 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern via AEW ticket. I'm sorry, AEWTix.com. So there you go. AEW hitting the road, man. We're getting back to normal finally. And Paul Heyman on Twitter. This is interesting. Paul Heyman says his nomination for the Hall of Fame in 2022 is the ECW audience. What do you think about that, Matt?
Why not? I don't care.
I mean, yeah.
WWE Hall of Fame's a joke anyway.
Drew Carey's in it, so why not? Congratulations to Gangrel, who got engaged at Yankee Stadium. How about that? Coming soon, WWE 2K22 Dev Diaries. Excited for that one, Matt?
Nope. Because I don't believe for one fucking second that the game's going to be good. Prove me wrong, guys, because I want the game to be good, but I don't believe for one second that it's going to be.
I never even played 20. Never even touched 20.
I really enjoyed the actual story mode, but the gameplay and everything else about the game was not good.
Did it ever become playable?
No. I don't know. I fucking stopped playing it. I know a lot of people on Twitter I still see uploading creations for 2K19, so I'm going to say no.
Good point. Did you ever watch the movie Knives Out, Matt?
No, but I hear Batista's in the sequel.
Yep, so. Batista is in the sequel according to Deadline.com. It's going to be a sequel to on Netflix. The first Knives Out, very good movie. Basically a murder mystery movie that starred Daniel Craig of James Bond fame.
Yeah, apparently Netflix paid like $400 million to get the exclusive rights to the second and third Knives Out movies. So that's why it's going to go to Netflix.
Yeah, if you're ever in the mood or hankering for a movie, Matt, check out Knives Out. It's a good one.
Is it on Netflix?
I think so.
If it is, maybe I'll check it out.
You would almost think it would be.
I feel like they paid all that money to get the sequels. I would like to hope that the original one is on there. Because if not, that's just downright silly.
Oh my God, it's not.
Is it really?
No.
What the fuck?
It's not. Wow.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, that is pretty dumb. I think it's on Prime Video if you have Prime.
I do not. Do not have the Prime. Don't think it's worth the money.
You gotta think
I
it.
don't shop enough on Amazon for it to be worth it for me.
God, I shop too much on Amazon. You gotta think it's coming to Netflix soon, eventually, though, with that whole deal.
I mean, look, if I shopped on Amazon more frequently, maybe it would be worth it. But I buy on Amazon so little. To me, the price is not justified for what I would use it on.
It has been announced that SummerSlam will take place on Sunday, August 22nd. Location is yet to be finalized. I hear rumblings it might be MSG, Matt.
I've also heard California or Vegas as well. So stack up all your guesses. I've even heard some rumors that the pay-per-view might be as soon as August 1st. So who fucking knows?
It might be at Daly's place.
I guarantee you Vince McMahon is not happy about the fact that AEW is returning to the road before they are.
Oh, well, you know Vince has got his panties in a bunch.
So with them setting the business back 30 years and all that.
You notice there's somebody going, oh, in the end of this clip. I think it's Jerry Lawler.
Shut up! I think it's Byron Saxton.
Shut up! Might be JR. That could be an old clip.
Yeah, I don't know. I think who knows? It's Vince. No one cares.
WWE has released a trailer for RVD's Icons, which will premiere right after. Well, I say it'll premiere right after the WrestleMania Backlash, but it's going to be usually available in the afternoon, anyways. So,
honestly, the WWE Network has really been ruined for me. Like, I loved being able to just turn it on and let it stream whatever was on. Great background noise and whatever. And now it's just like you turn on the pay-per-view and nothing's on afterwards. It's like, thanks for the live presentation. It's done. Go fuck off.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, well, that's fucking lame.
Yeah, I wish they had I mean, there's a streaming channel, but it's not like what it used to be. I wish there was a streaming channel like what the network had. Yeah.
Yeah, look, maybe it'll be there by SummerSlam.
True.
Like maybe, I know they keep promising all these improvements and stuff by the time SummerSlam rolls around, so maybe it'll be there when that happens. But yeah, right now for me the network just I load it up when there's a live pay-per-view on. Like I have no desire to turn it on at any other point now.
Oh,
It's kind of a bummer.
I've been binge watching 2.5 Men, so I have Peacock on a lot. Some bad news for the Khan family. Their football club Fulham is going to get relegated out of the English Premier League, which if you're not familiar with soccer, the bottom couple of teams in the standings for the year get knocked down to the lesser league, and so hence make a lot less money. And so that happens to Fulham this year, or next year they'll be in the secondary league. I can't remember what that's called anymore. I used to follow soccer a lot more back in the day. Some updates on Alberto Carrillo and Jeff Hardy. Multiple sources saying Carrillo is okay after the bout was stopped against Sheamus.
Yeah, oddly enough, it's almost a very similar situation to what we got tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like we're hearing Orange is okay, but in the moment he was not. And they had to call an audible. I mean, this just happens with live TV.
Yeah.
So
Mike Johnson talking about Jeff Hardy, obviously with getting jobbed to Jinder Mahal on Monday. He has confirmed with a WWE source that there's a good chunk of time left on his deal.
Yeah, but who knows what a good chunk means? That can mean like he's under contract to the end of the year. That's a good. To me, that's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, PW. He signed the deal. He acknowledged last year that he signed a new deal, and PW Insider was told it was 2 to 3 years.
Which I'm guessing it was probably 2, in my opinion. And look, he acknowledged it months after he signed it too. Like when he acknowledged that he'd signed a new deal, like he had signed the deal months prior.
Yeah.
So like to me, by like this time next year, he's probably not going to be under a contract anymore.
Speaking of which, where's the Hardy family office been lately? Or is Rebby that close to being due?
They were on Elevation.
Oh, I need to try to get into that.
Private Party and Matt Hardy were both on Elevation Monday.
They haven't been on Dynamite in a while. I need to get on the Elevation train. But for people that don't watch that, a lot of all of a sudden you're like, oh, like how are the Varsity Blondes facing these guys? Or stuff like that. It's because they get those records padded on Elevation and Dark, and now all of a sudden they're thrusted into the top five.
It's one of the great things about AEW because they're able to keep their television programming relatively fresh.
Yeah.
You don't get sick of seeing somebody on Dynamite. You don't get sick of seeing the same match over and over again. They have such a deep talent
so many people
that they could swap people in and out, and they can move the puzzle pieces around. And just when you have time to start missing somebody, they're back on the show. And like I think it works really, really well. It's honestly how NXT used to be a few years ago. When it was only 1 hour, when it was weekly, and we would go for weeks without seeing somebody. But hey, so and so's back next week. Gotta watch. Love this guy.
Yeah.
Type of deal.
Yeah.
And I feel like AEW has a lot of that same old school NXT formula, that their roster is so deep and stacked that they can afford to move around, shift around people every week, and it never feels, oh my god, again type of deal. Like I feel like when I'm watching Raw on Mondays, and I really appreciate the freshness that AEW manages to give me every Wednesday night.
Do ya?
I do.
You set yourself up for that one, and I like it.
I'm gonna miss SCU, man.
I wanted an excuse to play the old Kaz clip there.
Do ya?
Look, you had to play it tonight.
Oh, hey, like the shirt, by the way?
Oh, Jerichoholic, brother. I think I have that shirt too. I have to dig in my closet and find it, but I'm pretty sure I have that.
If you're a fan of John Moxley's beautiful wife, Renee Paquette, her cookbook comes out next week, May 18th.
You know what's funny about me?
What is funny about you?
I love watching cooking shows.
Oh yeah,
I love watching Chopped. I love watching guys grocery games.
You ever watch the British Bacon Challenge?
Yeah, be Bobby Flay. I love watching those shows, but the idea of me going into a kitchen and trying to replicate these things does not compute in my brain.
No, if it can go into the microwave or the air fryer, yeah, we'll do that.
Like, I want to do it, but it's just like, oh my god, it's so time consuming.
Have you ever watched that baking challenge?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
That's pretty good. I got hooked into that.
Yeah, I love those shows. They're fun and entertaining. Honestly, my TV has guys grocery games on right now.
Nice.
So
mine is
I
raining.
Love the cooking stuff. I just wish I could cook.
Mine is raining Roku logos.
Oh my.
Because I was just on the main screen. If you caught me looking at the TV earlier, like what the fuck's going on? It's because my Roku like rebooted. It must have updated or something. I set it up so I got TV, gaming, work computer here. So it's all in a row. And
you set up your own little mini arcade of sorts.
Well, no, that's going to be the spare bedroom once ever I shovel it out. Oh my god, right now it's just a pile of everything.
Oh boy.
So I got a couple of dude, my buddy Chris texted me a couple days ago or last week, texted me and goes, dude, Walmart has arcade 1-up NBA Jam machines for $200 on clearance. And they're
shit.
They're $500 normally. I'm like, we're fucking going. And he goes, I had the day off because I was still on my week off from moving. And
yeah.
I think it was actually my last day. It was last Thursday. It was my last day because I returned to work Friday for a short time. Then I went to get my vaccination. So we're like, we better go before the after work crowd gets there. So we got up there.
Sure.
Yeah, we got up there. He said he went there with his mom, but he had to he couldn't get them now because he was with his mom getting medicine and whatnot for her and stuff. And so he's like, okay, well, all right, we'll go up in the afternoon and check it out. We went up there. They still had 3, so we each grabbed one.
That's fucking dude. $200.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
And then I bought the Midway Legends arcade machine, which just came out. 12 games on it, and literally it's my childhood of what I played in bars and arcades when I was a kid, dude. Like Paperboy, Joust, Defender, Gauntlet. Because I'd been wanting the Gauntlet Rampage cart because I wanted the Gauntlet mainly on arcade, but it's hard
Rampage
to get.
You got Rampage on
Rampage
there?
is on this.
Yeah.
And then
Fucking Rampage.
And then Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
No shit. Oh, that's a hell of a collection.
Yeah, the outside of the cabinet is Mortal Kombat 2, is what the cabinet is. So,
How much was that?
It was being scalped on eBay for $900. Some people were paying over $1,000. I'm like, fuck. Late one night, about 1 a.m., I had $15 in Best Buy certificates, and so I was like, let's see what's on sale, see what I can buy. I noticed it was in my saved items and it said add to cart. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. It was in stock. I grabbed it and like literally 10 minutes later, it was out of stock again because people are scalping the fuck out of it. I don't know why.
So how much did you get it for?
$400. The full.
Oh, that's a fantastic price.
Retail. Yeah, that's a retail price.
Yeah, I was curious what the retail was. Like the fact that it's going for fucking almost $1,000 on eBay is insane.
Yeah. Jam retailed for $5.
Yeah, so like normally the arcade one-ups are normally about $400 to $500 a pop.
Yeah, Jam for $200.
I mean that's why I would never want to get one because it's just like that's so damn pricey. Like I would love to have like the Ninja Turtle one and NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. But I'm just like, man, for those prices, no thanks.
Yeah, and rumors are Simpsons is coming up next, maybe.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that arcade was great. Man, Turtle. I want to get Turtles too, but NBA Jam, man, I played that in the gas station when I was a kid. Well, not kid. I think I was about 11 or 12 at that point. But
I grew up on the Ninja Turtles arcade machine.
Me too. Yep. My buddy.
I still remember the first time walking into Chuck E. Cheese and seeing that thing for the first time. I just thought I saw a gift from God.
My buddy
just could not believe it.
My best friend from elementary, his mom owned the Godfather's Pizza in Nebraska City. And so, every day in the summer, we'd hook up and go down there and eat free pizza and fucking play the Ninja Turtles arcade machine, the Simpsons arcade machine. There was a Nintendo Play's Choice 10, Shinobi. Loved playing Shinobi in the arcade, and they had a Neo Geo machine there as well. And but yeah, dude, played that all the time in that arcade at Godfather's. Man, it rocked. Well, that was our arcade break for the show.
Why the hell not?
Why the
fuck? More, I guarantee you our listeners are more entertained by that than listen to us talk about Raw.
Right.
Dummy.
Yeah. John Cena is going to write and produce a new series for the Peacock. Peacock TV tweeted, "Brace yourselves, executive producer and narrator John Cena will help us bring to life WWE Evil, an entertaining psychological expose into the minds of the most diabolical antagonists in WWE history." WWE Evil. What a weird name for a show. You know what needs to be an arcade one-up machine? WrestleFest.
Oh, that'd be something else, man.
Speaking of which, Wrestlemania came out on PS4. I bought it.
Finally.
I bought it on Switch. I had it on Switch when it came out way back when, but I play most of my time on the PS, and so
I would much rather play that on a sturdy controller.
Yeah.
Over trying to play it on Switch because, like, look at its heart, there's still a button mashing mechanic to that grapple system, and I would not want to be hammering on a Joy-Con.
No, I don't use Joy-Cons
to do that.
No, I use a regular controller on the Switch.
Oh, see, I don't have a regular Switch controller. I just have the Joy-Cons.
It's not the Pro controller, but it's made by 8-Bit Do. And it's basically it's like a PlayStation controller. Basically, it has the thumbsticks and shit like that. So it's basically like a PS3 PS3 controllers, maybe but it's Bluetooth, so it works with the Switch.
Yeah.
So I don't use the Joy-Cons at all. Fuck that. I hate the fucking Joy-Cons. God. Only thing I'm going to ever use the Joy-Cons for.
I don't mind though, because I normally play the thing handheld anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I have a light, so I'll use my light for the handheld, but I had a light first before I bought the Switch itself. Even more trademarks for WWE: Nathan Frazier, Bailey Matthews, Hit Row Records, Teoman, Miko Satomura, Amelia McKenzie, and Steve Turner. We already talked about TakeOver. Mansoor was supposed to appear on Raw, but creative changed and dropped it. What the fuck? You bring the guy back, and then whatever. Velveteen Dream was backstage at Raw, but not scheduled to appear in any fashion. Keith Lee, who we've not seen in forever, yesterday tweeted, "Today is a day that can and will define the future. The wheels can be in motion and move forward, or they can stop completely. Make your wheels turn, except no substitute." Is he on his way out the door?
No, I think he was saying that he was
Coming
going
back?
to check and see if he was about to get cleared or not. Because later in the day he tweeted a photo of him walking out of the War Games cage door.
War Games.
So I think that was his way of saying he got cleared. So at least that's what I hope he's saying.
Let's hope so. What was wrong with him?
Well, we don't know. Whatever it is, it's been kept very, very close to the vest. But he hasn't been cleared to compete since February. Like, it's not a situation of them just like keeping him off TV for the hell of it. Like, he legitimately has not been cleared to compete.
Yeah. Man, did you watch the Sammy vlog this week?
Yep, always do.
Good show. The dude got beat up. It's pretty cool though. Kind of see a behind the scenes look at the cage and stuff before the show and whatnot. And just him and Cody having a casual conversation on top of the cage. Who's winning the friendship tournament, by the way? You think it's
I think Fuego's going to somehow pull it off.
I think so too. What was up with Sammy at the end of that though? He seemed kind of down, just out of it from the getting beat
I think
up.
it's just it was a rough fucking night. That's how I took it anyway.
Yeah. All right, 2 pay-per-views this weekend: Under Siege, starring Steven Seagal, and then WrestleMania Backlash.
Stop.
Will you stop?
We have the ever dangerous TBD facing Josh Alexander for the X Division Championship. I'm guessing that TBD gets filled on Impact on Thursday.
I would assume so.
No idea who that's going to be though. Really don't have any clue. So we'll just say Josh retains, right?
I would say so. I mean, he hasn't held it long enough for him to drop it. I feel like you got to give this guy a reign.
Yeah,
to wash away the idea that he's a tag team wrestler. You gotta establish him now as a single star. So
he's been having tremendous matches all throughout this year. So
for sure.
Who wins between Havoc and Rosemary? On Thursday.
I guess Rosemary. I don't know.
They're not going to.
It's not like they're really pushing either of them.
No.
So
I think it'd be interesting to see Havoc take on Deonna one-on-one, since now that she's split from Nevaeh. I'd assume no change there.
No change. That's what you got.
Well, I hit 2 buttons at the same time. Whoops. I don't think
I actually heard it though. That was pretty great.
Let me see if I can replicate that. Gorilla's interrupting Vince.
As he should.
Nobody interrupts Vince. Nobody sneezes on Vince. Nobody yawns at Vince. It's a sign of weakness.
Vince.
It's a sign of weakness.
Fuck off, Vinnie Mac. Old decrepit bitch.
I would hopefully think they put Brian Myers over Black Taurus.
You would sure as fuck think so.
W. Morrissey's going to kill Willie Mack.
I'd like to hope it's more competitive than.
Oh, it'll be a good match. Willie Mack puts on good matches. So, God, we're not going to have any title changes on Saturday, are we? Because I don't think Fire and Flavor are going to beat Grace and Ellering.
I think it'd be way too soon to flip flop the titles back.
Every once in a while,
you have to let everybody. You have to let everybody know that Ellering's a big deal.
Yep.
And and if she loses her second match,
yeah.
It's been especially since you just locked Grace into a new multi-year deal.
Right.
Like I don't think you're. Oh, thanks for re-signing with us. We're gonna take the title back now. Like I just that doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, this will be good. Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice taking on the Super Elite of Omega and the Good Brothers. I would assume the Elite gets over here.
Maybe.
Eddie Edwards is probably there to take the pinfall from Kenny Omega. Maybe, I don't know. And then your main event, which should be tremendous.
Okay. By God, Omega.
By God. 6-way dance to determine the number one contender for the Impact World Championship. Your contenders are Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Sami Callihan, Chris Sabin, Trey Miguel, and Moose. Matt, who you got out of these 6 gentlemen?
It makes sense for it to be Moose, but the dude's contract's up in June.
And then it's heel versus heel.
Who are the other 5 again?
Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Sami Callihan, Chris Sabin, Trey Miguel.
And honestly, the only other guy I could see out of that is Sami Callihan, and he's a heel too.
Yeah.
Like I don't see anybody else challenging Omega. I mean, they could do Trey Miguel, and it would be a great match. But there wouldn't be. I wouldn't think for one fucking second that Trey Miguel's beating Kenny Omega.
Well, I don't
like
think
if you didn't let Rich Swann beat him, fucking Trey Miguel ain't beating him.
I don't believe for one second none of these guys could beat him outside of Moose.
That's why I said Moose is the most logical choice. Like if Moose wins, you would actually there's something in the back of your mind that thinks, maybe Moose is gonna win this thing.
Yeah.
But if Moose isn't, in that spot, just they're gonna win that match. Like if Moose's contract wasn't up in June, and maybe it's not, maybe he's already signed a new deal, and this is all part of a storyline or whatever. But if his contract's truly up, I can't see them putting him in such a high profile match, especially since that match is happening at Slammiversary, right? Isn't the winner of the 6-pack facing Omega at Slammiversary?
I would assume so.
Yeah, so that's way after Moose's contract supposedly expires.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that's honestly, people are gonna want to tune in for that match just because, like, legitimately, I don't know who the fuck's gonna win.
Well, Trey Miguel did beat Sami Callihan at that pay-per-view in the Last Man Standing, so maybe my gut said Trey Miguel off the bat.
To me, it's too much too soon.
Yeah. By the way, Josh Alexander, there's going to be a 6-way match on Impact to determine who faces him tomorrow, and it's Ace Austin, Petey Williams, Rohit Raju, TJP, AC Romero, and El Phantasmo. I think El Phantasmo wins that. Oh my God, El Phantasmo and Josh Alexander would be a fucking killer match.
They didn't bring in El Phantasmo just to sit around and twiddle his thumbs. So you're probably right there.
Man, I like El Phantasmo too. Hell, I could see him beating Josh Alexander, to be honest.
I know that would be a mistake.
Probably.
It's not like you have El Phantasmo under a deal. He's just
Impact Wrestling ever made a mistake?
I wouldn't do it. Look, you already have 2 of your main titles on people that aren't contracted with your company.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not make it a third.
Then they all leave together. Oh, what the fuck we do now? Wrestlemania Backlash.
That would be really bad, dude.
WrestleMania Backlash, because we had to add WrestleMania to the title of the pay-per-view. Here we are. Typical WWE. Well, actually, you never know. They've been doing shorter pay-per-views with no fans, so only 6 matches on the card. They'll probably add something from SmackDown on Friday.
It'll be somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
When's the start time? Are they saying 7 or 8? I know they had that weird start time for Mania where it was 8 o'clock again. Like, is it 8 o'clock for Backlash or is it 7?
Let's check. Back to regular.
Okay, good. I like the 7 o'clock. I like the 7 o'clock start time better.
Me too.
That way, normally the pay-per-view is done by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, because I'm going to be working until who knows when on Sunday night. So hopefully it ain't that long, and then I can catch it when I get home. 6 matches are announced so far. Damian Priest Miz Lumberjack match. That's going to be Damian Priest right there.
Yeah, I think it would be insane to do anything else.
Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. My God, I'd love to see Cesaro win, but I honestly don't think he's going to take the title off of Roman.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but it would be pretty cool if they shocked the world, essentially.
I think it's all but booked that Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio will be the first ever father-son tag team champions, though they should have fucking done it at WrestleMania.
I completely agree with you. I don't know why they put it off, and now they don't get to do it in front of a crowd. It's very
ridiculous,
very weird to me.
Triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship: Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Charlotte Flair. Who do you got? I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be Charlotte.
If Alexa Bliss gets involved, Ripley retains.
Looks like she was
not,
targeting.
Charlotte wins.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's going to win. I think Alexa was targeting Shayna Baszler.
I see. You would think that, but a lot of when she was doing that stupid laugh at the end on the stage, they kept shifting the camera back to Charlotte.
Yeah,
and they did it an obscene amount to Charlotte as compared to anybody else standing down there at ringside.
Yeah,
and they also had Lily staring at Sonya Deville the week before.
Well,
and Sonya Deville is clearly attached to
Charlotte
right now. I'm thinking
Lily stares at whatever direction the doll's pointed at. So
you know what I fucking mean.
Kayfabe ain't dead, brother.
So I think if Bliss if Bliss gets involved, Rhea will retain. If Bliss does not get involved, they're putting the title back on Charlotte.
It's good, a good plan. I think Charlotte wins, and then I don't know. It would.
And then we wait for Becky to come back.
The thing is with Charlotte, though, they just want to get her count up before she retires, because I don't think Charlotte's going to wrestle for that much longer, to be honest with you. So I could see Charlotte getting the title and being a transitional champion to Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is just trying to pad Charlotte's numbers. So I think that's why I think Charlotte's going to win. Be 11.
I don't think Charlotte's going anywhere, to be perfectly honest with you.
I just don't feel like she's going to wrestle for too much longer. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Bianca Belair, Bayley, I think that's pretty obvious, Matt.
Yeah, Belair's got to retain.
Yep. And triple threat for the WWE Championship: Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman. Who you got?
Something's telling me that Drew's going to win the title back, and then I'm going to say, then why didn't you just do it at Mania?
Something's telling me.
And they'll be like, we did do it at Mania, pal. Backlash.
something's telling me, something was telling me Strowman might win because they're finally booking him right, but then he stood tall last on Monday. So that just killed my whole fucking thing. So I'm going with you and putting it on Drew. And you're right. Why the fuck not just do it with? But at the same time, I think they should have give Lashley a proper.
I know, and I agree with that. But look, if the plan all along was just to put the title back on Drew,
yeah,
then just do it at Mania in front of the crowd so they can pop off the title change.
You know what?
You can always put the title back on Lashley later.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm saying Bobby Lashley retains, and his next challenger is a returning Keith Lee.
See, I think Keith Lee's going to be the one to eventually take the title from Sheamus. I think the whole open challenge thing is setting up for Keith Lee's return. So, because Keith Lee and Sheamus had that history before all this went down, and he was also supposed to win the United States Championship at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So I think Keith Lee's return will be utilized with the open challenge on Sheamus. So I don't think he's going. I don't think he's going WWE title picture yet because I don't think Vince trusts him enough to put him in the WWE title picture yet.
And obviously Sheamus has not had a bad match in a year and a half, and so that match with Keith Lee is going to be pretty damn good.
Oh, all his matches with Keith Lee were amazing.
Yeah. I could totally see it going to Drew.
Yeah. Whoever wins, Strowman's eating the pinfall. So
yeah,
Lashley and McIntyre aren't taking the fall in this match. Strowman's in there to eat the pin.
Yeah, and they've been booking Strowman well, a lot better than they have.
Yeah, so he said he'd be ready to eat the pin.
Yeah, so that's why I thought
that's what WWE does.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe he might win, but then he did what he did on Monday to end the show, and so yeah, good luck with that. All right, that's gonna do it for this edition of Lost the Midcard. So we got a couple of good pay-per-views to enjoy this weekend. Hope you do that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. Then you'll know every time a new episode comes your way, typically on Thursdays. And we're on the YouTube. Links to that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Give us a subscribe there. Even if you don't check out the video version of the podcast, give us a subscribe, help us out a little bit there. We would appreciate it. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, enjoy a couple of pay-per-views this weekend. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Very much looking forward to Double or Nothing, and if anybody wants to go with me, please reach out to me on social media. Give me a reason to go down to Jacksonville.
Reach out to him on Craigslist.
No, I'm not on Craigslist, pal.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning into Lost Midcard. We'll be back at you next week with our Under Siege and Backlash reactions.